बेगती আছে কিছু কার্য তব এই অনুমানে নাহে কেরানিবেন এই উগ্রস্থানে রাজস্তম গুণেরা সবাই আচ্ছন্ন वासुदेव का तारुचि नहे से प्रसन्न तबे यदि तब कृपा होए है सुखी सकली संभव हो तुमी से कौतुकी কিভাবে বুঝালে তারা বুঝেছে রস ये कृपा तोरो प्रभु कोरी निज वश तुम्हारा इच्छाया सब होए माया वश तुम्हारा इच्छाया नाश मायार परश तब इच्छा होए यदि तंदेर बुझिबे निश्चयी तबे कथा से तुम्हार भागवतेर कथा से धीर हैया सुने जदि काने बार बार शृण्वतां स्वगता कृष्ण पुण्यश्रवणकीर्तनः. Everybody together. हृदयन्तं स्वगता कृष्ण पुण्यश्रवणकीर्तनः. हृद्यन्तस्तो ह्यभद्राणि विधुनोति सुहृत्सतां. नष्टप्रायेष्व भद्रेषु नित्यां भागवत सेवया. भगवत्युत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी. तदा रजस्तमो भावाः कामलोभादयश्च ये चेतयेतैरनाविद्धं स्थितं सत्त्वे प्रसीदति. एवं प्रसन्नमनसो भगवद्भक्तियोगतः भगवत्तत्त्वविज्ञानं मुक्तसङ्गस्य जायते. भिद्यते हृदयग्रन्थे छिद्यन्ते सर्वसंशयाः. क्षीयन्ते चास्य कर्माणि दृष्टयेवात्मनीश्वरे. रजस्तमोहते तवे पायिवे निस्तार. हृदयेरभद्रसते रुचिवेतः. কি করে বুঝাবো কথা বড় সেই চাহি. ক্ষুদ্র আমি দীনহীন কোনো শক্তি নাহি. अतचयने छो प्रभु कथा बोलिबारे. ये तुम्हारी इच्छा प्रभु करो ये वारे. अखिल जगत गुरु वचन से आमार. अलंकृत कोरीवार क्षमता तुम्हार. अब कृपा हले मोर कथा शुद्ध हवे. शुनिया सवार शोक दुख जे गुचीवे. आनिया छो यदि प्रभु हमारे न चाहते. नाचावो नाचावो प्रभु नाचावो से माते कास्तेर पुतलियाता नाचावो से माते भक्ति नाए वेद नाए नामे खूब दारो भक्ति वेदांत नामाए वे सातक करो बड़ कृपा कैले कृष्ण अधमेर प्रति खिला गया नीले हेता करो ये बेगती So this is a song for empowerment, that Prabhupada sang in his Jaladuta diary. One thing with this song you will see, the topic is empowerment, isn't it? Seeking empowerment. So Srila Prabhupada, very, very heart-melting song it is, because he is presenting his disqualifications. I have no bhakti, I have no buddhi, I have no shakti, I am an old man, I am coming to a foreign land, and people are fully passionate here. People are rushing in cars here and there. How will they listen to my message? And I have Kshudrami, he's saying, I am very small, insignificant. I have no power to transform the hearts of these people, he's saying. And then he is saying that although I don't trust my own power, I am very insignificant. I am very insignificant. At the same time, I have a great trust in your power. So therefore, nowadays, many people in the modern times talk about confidence. They think we should have confidence in ourselves. Actually, Shastras don't teach that. Shastras say we should have confidence in Supreme Lord. Prahlad did not have confidence in himself. He had confidence in Krishna. He had confidence that Krishna will protect me if he wishes so. So Prabhupada also never said, I am a great soul, I have come with full confidence, I am very daring. He didn't say that. He said, I am Kshudrami, I am very small, and I have no bhakti, I have no Vedantic knowledge, and I'm an old man, and who will pay attention to me, But I have brought you in the form of Srimad Bhagavatam, which is not different from Krishna. And maybe this sound vibration, when it enters the hearts of those people, that's why those verses he recited, Srinvatam, Swagata, Krishna, all those verses. The doubts will be dispelled, they will get blossomed in their Krishna consciousness, and they will become bhaktas, devotees by your mercy. And you have given me the name Bhakti Vedanta. If you want to prove that name, that you can do. And why I have this confidence? Because in this world, all the jivas are put under Maya by your arrangement only. Because they wanted to be independent of you. So you have given them separate provision to do their own independently enacted activities. So if you want to kindle the bhakti in their hearts, you can do. You are extremely powerful. Like that he is saying. And then he is telling, you can make me dance like a kashtera putli, means like a wooden doll. Huh? I am like a doll or a puppet in your hands. When I am coming to the west, I don't know whether to go straight, to take left, or to turn right because I have no relatives there. I have no money in my pocket. uh, and I have no sponsors or supporters. It's a foreign land. People speak a different language. uh, so my body is not strong because I had a couple of heart attacks, and you know, and my language is different. I speak Bengali accented English. So with all these disqualifications, I have come very boldly, as if I am going to do something great, but I can't do that great thing. But if you wish, it can happen by your power, power of your holy name and power of your holy fame, Srimad Bhagavatam. This message can enter their hearts. And for me to offer you to them, for that you make me a puppet in your hands. So that like a postal peon, I will reach uh, you in the form of holy name in the park, and holy name, holy fame through the classes. Prabhupada had 3 classes in a week, alternate days. So in this way, I will try to speak to them your message. And then he's saying, make my words, alankrit means what? Decorate my words with your potency. I'll show you one person in the Bhagavatam regarding this. Bhagavatam, there's a very beautiful verse. Hmm? That is the beautiful verse. This is 2.4.23. भूतैर्महद्भिर् ययिमा पुरो विभुर् निर्मायशेते यदमूष पूरुषः भुङ्क्ते गुणान् षोडश षोडशात्मकः सोऽलङ्कृशिष्ट भगवान् वचांसि मे. See the last line, so alankrishishta is saying, same word Prabhupada is using there in the song. May my words be decorated by you. Read the translation of this one. Yeah.
May the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who enlivens the materially created bodies of the elements by lying down within the universe, and who in his Purusha incarnation causes the living being to be subjected to the 16 divisions of material modes, which are his generator, be pleased to decorate my statements.
Yeah. Read this one purport, first few lines.
Purport. As a fully dependent devotee, Sukadeva Goswami, unlike a mundane man who is proud of his own capability, invokes the pleasure of the personality of Godhead so that his statements may be successful and be appreciated by the hearers. The devotee always thinks of himself as instrumental for anything successfully carried out, and he declines to take
second line
credit for anything done by himself. The godless atheist wants to take all credit for activities, not knowing that even a blade of grass cannot move without the sanction of the Supreme Spirit, the personality of Godhead. Sukadeva Goswami therefore wants to move by the direction of the Supreme Lord, who inspired Brahma to speak the Vedic wisdom The truths described in the Vedic literatures are not theories of mundane imagination, nor are they fictitious, as the less intelligent class of men sometimes think. The Vedic truths are all perfect descriptions of the factual truth without any mistake or illusion. And Sukadeva Goswami wants to present the truths of creation not as a metaphysical theory of philosophical speculation, but as the actual facts and figures of the subject, since he would be dictated to by the Lord exactly in the same manner as Brahmaji was inspired. As stated in the Bhagavad Gita 15.15, the Lord is himself the father of the Vedanta knowledge, and it is he who only knows the factual purport of the Vedanta philosophy. So there is no greater truth than the principles of religion mentioned in the Vedas. Such Vedic knowledge or religion is disseminated by authorities like Sukadev Goswami because he is a humble devotional servitor of the Lord who has no desire to become a self appointed interpreter without authority. That is the way of explaining the Vedic knowledge, technically known as Parampara system or descending process.
Yeah. So this is the amazing thing. You can see that the dawn of creation, everything was dark. Lord, Supreme Lord, empowered Brahma, correct? No, with the tapa instruction, and then after doing that, then Brahma got the vision. He got appreciation. He got benediction. He got revelation of the Vaikuntha, everything. So in the Chaitanya Charitamrita also it is said, Rupa Goswami says in one prayer, the Kaviraj Goswami says that Lord Chaitanya revealing truth to Rupa Goswami is like Vishnu revealing truth to Brahma. As it says. In the same manner here he says, Shukadeva Goswami, my dear Lord, you only empowered Brahma, you empower me also to speak properly. Such a great personalities like Shukadeva Goswami, they depend on the Lord. They don't interpret anything in the scripture claiming themselves to be very vastly learned or competent to do anything on their own. So we can learn. And Brahma also prays like a child. Brahma, in one of the prayers, he says, my dear Lord, I'm actually like a baby in the mother's womb. He says, sometimes the baby kicks the mother in the womb and mother doesn't take any offense. She doesn't mind. The baby is floating in the belly, in the womb. Similarly, people like me may commit mistake. Please forgive me. And that is prayed by Brahma. Such a number one personality leader of the whole universe. So Brahma's humility while approaching the Lord, Shukadeva Goswami's humility while approaching the Lord, and Prabhupada's humility while going to the West and preaching. So these are very good role model examples for all of us, how we should preach, not whimsically or in any manner. We have to seek empowerment to preach effectively. So therefore, we are doing the seminar now. We are in the second one now. So last time we did this one. We are in page number. So this is the part 2 we were doing. So in the part 2, we began with this one. How to recognize an empowered devotee. Last time, I think we also discussed last time about the mentoring also, correct? No? Mentoring aspect. What is right mentoring, wrong mentoring? We spoke about that. And then we have done only up to this one. This one. Today we are supposed to go. This we did also, the first activity. Name a devotee whose preaching activities created a miraculous revolution in lives of misguided souls. In Prabhupada. So I showed about, Prabhupada being a Shakti Avash avatar. Now we will go to this one, we will go. From here we continue. Now more about empowerment. Okay. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Namavo Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvishe Namaha Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Eva Cha Patitanam Pavanibhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Sure. So, in this world, doing something with our own power is called Purushakara. And doing something with the blessings of the Lord is called Daiva. There are two words used. So, Purushakara is based on your punya. Last janam, you might have done some punya due to which in this life you have vakchaturiyam sometimes. Ability to speak very effectively and get the applause of the audience. Or you can speak humorously, or you can make people cry. You can make people laugh. You can sometimes attract mass of audience, 20,000 people, 30,000 people sometimes. You can have 1,000,000 followers also. So these things come from Purva Janma Punya. One may get these things. But how do you know some preachers' preaching is effective? Very simple answer Prabhupada gives to this. The life of the audience should be changed. They should have a change of heart. Those who hear the lecture, their heart should get purified. They should awaken realizations. And the end result is they should experience a transformation of heart and transformation in their lives. For example, Narada is preaching to Mrigari. Do you agree there was a transformation? The cruel Mrigari became compassionate Mrigari. Arjuna is preached by Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. Do you agree there was a difference? In the beginning, he was telling, Nayotse iti Govinda muktva tushnim babuvaha, he says. He said, I'm not going to fight Govinda. I am putting my bow down. Tushnim, he became very silent after that. That means he made up his own mind what he wanted to do. Who? Arjuna. But at the end of the Bhagavad Gita, he said, Karishe Vachanam Tava. Complete opposite. He is picking up the bow and arrow now and ready to fight. That means Krishna's preaching is effective or not? It's effective. Correct, no? Yeah. Now Jadabharata is preaching to Rahugana. Rahugana apparently was proud. Actually, he is a good soul because he is going to Kapilashrama for hearing Bhagavatam. Which means even a pious person sometimes can become arrogant and proud sometimes. He is actually going in the palanquin to attend Bhagavatam class in association of saintly persons. But on the way, he became proud. So, when he became a little proud, he was a little boastful. He shouted at the palanquin carrier. One of the four fellows was Jadabharata. So when he became angry on Jadabharata, when Jadabharata opened his mouth, he understood, oh, he is not an ordinary person, he's a great soul. And immediately he got off from the palanquin. You all know. He said, what is that? Naham Vishanke, Suraraja Vajra, na Trakshashula, na Yamasya Danda. He says, I am not afraid of Yama's Danda also. Let Yamaraj punish me, I don't mind. Let Varna arrest me by putting rope around my body. Or let Shiva bring his Trishul and pierce my chest with Trivida tap. I don't mind any of this, he's saying. Shanke Brisham, Brahma Kulavamanat. I am only afraid of offending a Vaishnava. He said, like once I heard my spiritual master say, if bomb drops on your head, or snake bites you, or you got a raging cancer in your body, these are not problems. He was saying, offending a Vaishnava, that is problem. Everybody was like shocked. Because these things, generally we take these things more seriously than Vaishnava Aparad, correct, no? Because why? These problems can only damage your body. Whereas Vaishnava Aparad can keep you stuck in the material world for long, long time. Because Vaishnava Aparad is a spiritual problem. Committing sins is a material problem. It's called a Duli Lep and Vajra Lep. Duli Lep means like dust on your body. If you just take a bath or you can dust it off, it will go away. Vajra Lep means somebody takes a red hot iron rod and they put a mark on your body. It doesn't go away very easily. Huh? So aparadha is like that. Shanke Brisham, I am afraid, he said. Brahma Kulava Manat. Offend great soul like you. I am very sorry if I have spoken anything very rashly with you, and you are a very dear devotee of Lord Vasudeva. And let me be very careful while dealing with such people. The last concluding part, Ravana says, uh, Namo Mahatbhyo, Namo Shishubhyo, he is saying. In this world, there are many pure devotees wandering in many forms. Some of them are like small babies also. Shishubhyo, who? Four Kumaras. uh, and Prahlad, Narada boy, Dhruva. They're all small kids, but they're 5-year-old kids, but they're all pure devotees. Let me be respectful to them also, he's telling. Let me not offend anyone. What to speak of Mahatma devotees? So in this way, he becomes extremely careful. So do you agree Raghugana had a change of heart after hearing from? That means whatever preaching is effective. Now say, for example, I give a program. 500 people came for my program. So how many of them took mala? How many of them felt that, "Oh, this Prabhuji's lecture really touched me. Today onwards, I am going to do all the ABCD. A for association. Once in a week, I'll come for the program. Whole life, I will come. And I'll read Bhagavad Gita at least one shloka a day. I will chant at least one round a day. And I will offer whatever I eat to Krishna. And I will come here and request this Prabhuji, please give me some engagement in seva. How many people you think they turn up in our preaching? How many of you feel that? Not many feel. That means the change of heart is not happening in many, although we may be talking. So sometimes sometimes preachers put that 5,000 hours of lecture. He has spoken 8,000 hours of lecture and this many books written and this many universities visited, and how people glorify us. When you later on you look back and say, okay, you spoke so much, your blabbering hasn't changed the heart of so many people. How many people are with you? You can claim that these people came to devotion service and they are sticking on with me for whole life. How many people we have like that? Although we may speak a lot. That's why the criteria for success in our preaching is the change of heart, the transformation and purification of heart that happens to the audience. So, therefore, this topic of empowerment is very important. Why are we praying to the Lord for empowerment? Because Lord only can put the right word in our mouth, which if the audience hears it, they may experience purification. They may become purified. So the mood of the speaker should be one of supplication to the Lord, surrender to the Lord, submissiveness and humility, and great respect for the previous acharyas. And we should feel the knowledge doesn't belong to me, because I am borrowing it from the acharyas and giving it. It is not my knowledge. And the right words which fall in my mouth are also not mine, because the super soul is awarding them to me. The spiritual language is a different language, correct now? When we came to ISKCON, we learned it. So this language we are speaking, we learned from Prabhupada to say Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. We learned these things when we came to ISKCON. Similarly, the people who are with me, they are not my people. They have been sent by Krishna. They have chosen to be Krishna conscious. So in this way, the preacher gets empowerment by by speaking from the bottom of the heart. Like in all these prayers, Prabhupada singing the song from the bottom of his heart. Vado Kripa Koile Krishna Adamera Prati. Calling himself an Adama, he is calling. I am fallen, he says. So in this way, we have to seek empowerment of the Lord to be able to bring about change in the heart of other people, which is not a very easy thing to do. What to speak of changing others? Even we find it difficult to change our own personality, our own habits and natures, and it takes a long, long time. Actually, in this world, we may know what is right, but to go from the platform of what is right to doing the right, there's a big gap. So three things we have to do: know the right, do the right, discipline the right. So for knowing the right, what do? How do you know the right? By hearing and studying scriptures. Study scriptures and hear from great souls. The scriptures will give you bookish knowledge, you may get immediately, but the great souls will give us wisdom. huh? Because they have read the knowledge and they have digested it, they have implemented it, and they have digested knowledge we hear from spiritual masters. Huh? So in this way, we can get, we can get to know what is right, what is wrong. We can know that. Okay. After that, do the right. What it takes us to do the right after knowing the right.
Good example.
Okay, he's saying if there are good examples, seeing them, then we will also do the right. He's saying, yeah, huh? Good association. Same thing. What he said. Similar point. It is. Anything else? Huh? Yeah, determination you need. Determination is needed to implement. Yeah. So I'll just show you something regarding that implementation. See how to transform knowledge into realization. LCD formula. Huh? What is it? See, somebody is saying, I am sleeping right now, 2 hours in the afternoon. So what you should do? Now you should learn. Desire strongly to give up the lower nature. Plan systematically to change. Hear the lecture. Sutra is the learning. And be determined to bring about the change. To put it more simply, you need 3 qualities: Utsahan, Nishchaya, Dhairya. So Utsaha comes from associating with peers who will encourage you. Huh? Uh, if there are people who never sleep in the day, you associate with them, and then in that association, you can also give up sleep in the day, isn't it? Hmm? So, and then Utsaha Nishchayat means firm faith. Where does it come? It comes from the top down. It comes from very good role models. Huh? You see people with great determination and faith they are practicing. From them, you draw the strength. From superiors, you draw strength and faith. From equals, you draw encouragement and inspiration. You can draw. Huh? And dhairyat, patience, how you can have. You should know that Rome was not built in a day. Huh? So you can't eat watermelon in one go. You have to slice it. Mm. In the same manner, any great habit you want to achieve, you have to go in bit by bit and you can accomplish it like that. So in this way, we can go from learning to doing. But in between, there is one more step between learning and doing, which is committing. Committing is with the mouth and doing is with the body, correct? No? Committing means to say what I will do, and do means to do what I said, correct? No? Uh, like he's saying, I will not sleep in the afternoon from now, he's saying. So when you apply this Utsahanishya there, and then you can implement it, do. What all additionally we will get help is the prayers for superior help. You can pray to the Lord, pray to devotees, you can pray for blessings and good wishes of all, isn't it? In this way we can implement. Then you get realized wisdom. So, okay. Who can do wonderful things unimaginable to a common man? How can he do? If you want to do some great thing in this world, it's only possible by Lord's blessings. That is why in the Vedic times, if anybody wanted to achieve anything, even the kings sent their sons to Gurukula and to forest. You see, now Daksha Prajapati, sorry, our Prachina Parishad, he wants his sons, Prachetas, to become the next kings, his successors. So he's calling them and telling them, my dear sons, I want to get you married and then you become the next kings. For that, what is he doing? He's sending them to forest. They're going to forest and performing tapasya 10,000 years under the water and then getting darshan of Ashtabhuja Vishnu. And then they come back and they become very powerful by austerities. So by divine austerities, you become purified in the heart and you become empowered by the Lord and you get clarity of thought. You get a clear-cut focus in what you need to achieve in life. Everything becomes crystal clear for you. No more ambiguity. And you are not easily dragged by illusion and the world around you. So therefore, they would do tapasya to purify the heart, mind, and senses before taking responsibility. You will see anybody. For example, even Daksha Prajapati sent his 10,000 sons, Haryashvas, correct, no? To Narayan Saras. Later on, he sent Shavalasvas, another 1,000 he sent for purification. You will see that. In the, of course, both the groups of sons, they became brahmacharis. That risk was there, but he took the risk. Sometimes some congregation devotees fear to send their son to stay with brahmacharis. They say, hey, Prabhu, he will be a devotee, but not stay with all of you. He will stay separate line, will become devotee. Sometimes they fear. But Dakshapati didn't fear at all. He took the risk, he sent. Of course, he was very unhappy that both groups became sadhus. And what to do? Then he decided that now I will, instead of begetting sons, I'll beget daughters. Now Narada cannot make them brahmacharis. They begot daughters and then he gave them in marriage and then they begot sons and he became progenitor. His duties continued like that. But there are innumerable examples in Shastra of people going to forest. Like Dhruva Maharaj wanted to get a kingdom greater than his grandfather Brahma. His mother is telling, go to the forest, meet the saintly people. Lord Vishnu can give you love of a million mothers. She's telling. By the tapasya, then he became purified and empowered. He became purified of the greed in the heart and he became empowered with the awakening of pure love in his heart, with Krishna Prema. And he came back, he could rule the world, he could deal with everybody properly. So, in this way, we can do. So wonderful things can be done by even an ordinary devotee. If the Lord is pleased with the devotee, Lord can use the devotee to do something very great or wonderful. So let us see one example here. Naivam vida purushakara urukramasya pumsam tadangri rajasai jachashad gunanam chitram vidura vikataha sagradada dita Yanna madheya madhuna sajahati bandham. Please read the translation. One of you.
Translation. My dear king, a devotee who has taken shelter of the dust from the lotus feet of the Lord can transcend the influence of 6 material whips, namely hunger, thirst, lamentation, illusion, old age, and death. And he can conquer the mind and 5 senses. However, this is not very wonderful for a pure devotee of the Lord, because even a person beyond the jurisdiction of the 4 castes, in other words, an untouchable, is immediately relieved bonds of material existence if he utters the holy name of the Lord even once.
So he's saying hunger, thirst, lamentation, illusion, old age, and death are called as 6 whips of material nature. 6 whips. All living entities suffer from this as long as they have material body. When you go to spiritual world, you don't have this problem there. You don't have hunger, thirst, sorrow, illusion, old age, death. We don't have that. But because we are in material body, we undergo these changes. So, but when one takes shelter of Supreme Lord, one transcends these things and one gets a spiritual body after that. And like even Shoka Moha Bhaya Apaha, it is said, no? By hearing about the Lord, one becomes free from illusion of the present, worries of the past, fears of the future, everything. Another point is saying here that even a person who is Antyaja, Antyajas means Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, then Chandala, then Yavana, then Mlecha. Prabhupada used to say 9th class, 10th class, 12th class, he used to say. There are people so low because based on the type of food you eat, your category is made. Somebody is eating cow flesh, is called Yavana. Somebody is eating dog flesh, is called Chandala, like that. Even today, like our Shastras say that like certain areas like Mongolia, for example, that area is mentioned in the Vedas as people who eat dogs. Even now it's going on. People still eat dogs in certain areas. India, no, India people may not be eating dogs. But in some countries they eat. Similarly, they eat? Where? Korea, yeah, Korea also, yeah. So in this way, there is one verse which says, what is that famous verse? Kirata hunandra pulinda pulakasha abhira shumbha yavvana kashadayaha ye anye cha papa yadapashrayashrayaha shuddhyanti tasmai prabhavishnave namaha. So this verse says that even though there may be such 6th class, 8th class, 10th class, 12th class people may be there, in case they come across a very advanced devotee of the Lord who gives them the holy name and transforms their heart, these people can give up all bad habits and they can, Shuddhyanti means they become purified. Prabha Vishnu, by the power of Lord Vishnu, they can become purified. So those who can purify such fallen souls, they are considered as very potent and powerful acharyas, like Srila Prabhupada. You know, this is not an ordinary thing. Huh? See this.
Hare Krishna. Yesterday, I met a couple from Russia, ISKCON devotees, and they had a small child, about 3 years old, I think.
You're able to hear?
They are from Russia, but for last Krishna,
Yeah, I'll change it.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Yesterday, I met a couple from Russia, ISKCON devotees, and they had a small child, about 3 years old, I think. They are from Russia, but for last 6 years they are living in Mayapur. The child was pointing out to something in the Gopuram. The father said,
Haribol, I will play from here. I'll play from here. You see, two places is coming, they are confused. No. Huh? Yeah? That's not coming? But it's like breaking the. See, I can put it in this thing, this speaker I can put it and I can play. If I keep my mic here, it will come.
yesterday I met a couple from Russia, ISKCON devotees, and they had a small child, about 3 years old, I think. They are from Russia, but for last 6 years they are living in Mayapur. The child was pointing out to something in the Gopuram. The father said, he's pointing out the statue of Putana. Then I closely observed that child. He was telling, Putana, Putana, Putana. What a compassion, Prabhupada. What he has done. Can anybody match his compassion? We are struggling to convince our brother in Sri Vaishnava to chant Dvaya Mantra and Guru Param. And Prabhupada has done a miracle going to Russia, making them chant, leaving everything, coming to India and doing seva in Mayapur. Along with the family, wife and son, they want their children to be brought up in a Vaishnava atmosphere. The child was wearing a small dhoti and a jibba. I don't know match for Prabhupada. No match for Prabhupada. Srimate Ramanujaya Namaha.
How he is speaking from the heart, isn't it? This video has become viral now, because of it's just bringing from the bottom of the heart, you see. So, that is why I told you, preaching, anybody can do preaching, but how much change of heart we can bring in people. That's a real test of our preaching. How many, that's what Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, how many people from a materialistic lifestyle you have changed, you have removed a jiva from the material orbit and put the jiva in spiritual orbit. Earlier they were revolving around money, 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 money is honey. Now they are revolving around Krishna. Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. Divine couple has become the center of their lives. And also many times we look for pious people, correct now? Because we think that pious people are a little more, they will be favorably inclined, who are favorable, so that we don't have to work too hard. If you see somebody Gaya Bajra, somebody very, he said, there was one boy in those days in IIT BHU, this boy was into everything. He was a hippie, he was into drugs, he was smoking, drinking, everything. At the same time, he had a dozen talents also. He used to play guitar, he was a dancer, he was also a sportsman in 2-3 different type of sports. And he was a singer also, solo singer. He was singing in orchestra also. And he was very good in studies also. And he had a lot of friends. So his name was Divyadev Prabhu. I remember still. So he became a devotee in our group. That really shook the whole college. Hare, this fellow has become a devotee. That means there must be something in this Hare Krishna. And this boy had a big problem. What is it? He had dozen talents. He didn't have enough time to express all of them. Huh? Which one to express? Because he was pulled by all the clubs. Come here, come here, come here, come here, everybody. But he kicked all the clubs and became Hare Krishna devotee. So, in this way, okay, let us read the purport. Read further.
Since the Supreme Lord is all-powerful, he can do things that seem wonderful for a common man. Similarly, a devotee who has taken shelter at the lotus feet of the Lord can also do wonderful things unimaginable to a common man by the grace of the dust of those lotus feet. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu therefore teaches us to take shelter of the Lord's lotus feet.
All of it together, we will recite. Ayinandatanuja kinkaram patitam mam vishame bhavam budhau kripaya tava pada pankaja stita dhuli sadrisham vichintaya. Yeah.
O son of Nanda Maharaj, I am your eternal servant, yet somehow or other I have fallen into the ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up from this ocean of death and place me as one of the atoms of your lotus feet.
Yeah. So, in this way, even Lord Chaitanya is adopting the mood of Srimati Radharani and begging the Lord, please pick me up from the ocean of death and place me as one of the atoms at your lotus feet. So, the devotee who has, because Lord can do such things, he teaches us how to take shelter of the Lord's lotus feet. So, this is one very important aspect of the path of Bhakti Yoga. Bhakti Yoga teaches us dependence. Whereas the jnanis and yogis depend on their own strength. Recently I heard a story from a sannyasi. Once upon a time in a village, one tiger attacked a bull. The bull was running away and the tiger chased behind him. And the bull understood, I can't catch with the tiger's speed. The tiger is very fast and I am weak and tiger is strong. I am gone now, the bull thought. And the bull thought, anyway, here is a river. Instead of dying on land, I can die in the river also. Let me enter inside. So he jumped into the river water. Tiger also chased behind. But then they understood the river was very shallow. It was not very deep as they anticipated. It was only like knee deep or something. And both of them started entering into the waters. And the tiger was behind the bull. But they realized the sand was too soft. And it started like sort of devouring their bodies. And up to the neck they got stuck. So the bull was here and the tiger was probably 2 meters away from here, some distance. So, and the tiger was trying to come out so that he can catch the bull. And bull was also trying to come out, but both couldn't come out. They just couldn't move 1 inch also. It was such a thick mud all around their bodies. Then they both became practically stagnated. They could not do anything. They were like frozen, you can say. At that time, the bull was looking at the tiger and tiger was looking at the bull with a question mark on their faces. So, and the bull was asking a question. No, not the bull, the tiger. He was saying, hey, bull, you look so cheerful even though you are caught. How you can be so happy? He asked the bull. Then the bull asked the tiger back, what about you? Tiger said, I am the king of the jungle. All animals are subordinate to me. So he said, I am going to try somehow or other to get out of this as much as I can. Because nobody can match me, nobody is equal to me in strength. So I will exert my full strength to get out, like that he was telling. And the bull said, I have no worry at all, even if I cannot get out, he said, because now it is already 4 o'clock and my master will come in the evening when the sun is about to set, searching after me, that I haven't returned home. He will come, he will give sound. like that they make, no? They make sounds and all to find where the cow is. And as soon as I hear his sounds, then I will make a sound. Bah. I mean, I make the sound. Immediately he will come and he'll pull me out of this mud. But poor you can't come out because you have no master. Because you are thinking you are the master of everybody. So bye-bye to you. He said, and that's what exactly happened. When the cowman came, he saw the bull in the mud, caught in the mud. He brought a couple of more people and they pulled out both the legs. They brought out. But they also saw the tiger. They didn't save the tiger. They know very well. If they save the tiger, he is a trouble giver. Why will they save him? They left him and went away. So the moral of the story is the tiger-like people are the jnanis and yogis. They don't know how to depend on the Lord. So they have to get out of this material world on their own endeavor. Whereas devotees of the Lord says, Teshamaham samuddarta mrityu samsara sagarat bhavami na cherat partha maya veshita chetasam. Lord says that I personally come to deliver my devotees. So that promise Lord has given. So they,
कौसल्या सुप्रजा रामपूर्वा सन्ध्या प्रवर्तते उत्तिष्ठ नरशार्दूल कर्तव्यं दैवमान्तिकम् कौसल्या सुप्रजा रामपूर्वा सन्ध्या प्रवर्तते.
now safe landing in Vaikuntha. Correct? Na? So he depended on the Lord and you saw how he was saved, isn't it? So in this way, the cow and the tiger example you understood. And the bull is like the devotees of the Lord who learn to depend on the master. So Lord Chaitanya is teaching us through this verse how we should learn the dependence. So let us see who are all the people who are empowered very powerfully. One who chanted 3 lakh names every day, everybody knows. Haridas Thakur. One who preached Krishna consciousness all over the world. One who leapt over the ocean without a bridge. One who could win over great generals in battle. Arjuna. One who knew the heart of Supreme Lord Chaitanya. Prabhu Goswami. One who is empowered with bhakti to deliver all types of people. Narada, yeah. One who was empowered to offer protection to Praja. Prithu Maharaj, yeah. One who was empowered to destroy the evil kings. Who? Parashuram, yeah. So he's a prince who was spiritualized by the touch of a conch. Dhruva Maharaj. Born in a family of demons, spiritualized by touch of Lord's hands. Prahlad, yeah. Isn't it? So that's a famous verse. Sapadamulam patitam tam arbakam vilokya deva kripaya pariplutah uttapya tachirshni adadat karambujam kalargi vitrasta diyam kritavayam. In this verse says, when that small 5-year-old child came and fell at the feet of Lord Narasimha, touching Lord Narasimha's feet, Narasimha was amazed. Vilokya means immediately he saw with his 2 eyes, he saw the child and felt great ecstasy. Pariplutah had said, the Lord's heart erupted with the ecstasy of Bhakta Vatsalyata. Lord, Uttapya means Lord with his own hands lifted the child and touched the child's head with his hand. Tabakara Kamalavare. He touched and then he empowered Prahlad. Enlightened Prahlad, like that. I read this one. This is a very important question is answered here. That's what we can do.
Is a Chandala dog eater devotee required to change his body to be accepted as a Brahmana?
Some Brahmanas say that if a Chandala, say he has become a Hare Krishna devotee now, huh? Now you will see in ISKCON, if somebody was eating dogs before, and now he has become a devotee, he wears tilak in 12 parts of his body, he wears a kantimala, he has a japa beads also, huh? And he clean shaves his head and keeps a shika. And he can even become Brahman to worship the deities inside the altar. Correct? No? Now, do you all agree that it is a very big transformation of heart? Correct? No? Now, some Brahmanas in India still they don't accept them as Brahmanas. You may make him Brahman, but we don't accept Brahman. Why? Because they were eating dog. So regarding that, Prabhupada is giving a very nice answer now. What these Indian Brahmins say, when they leave the body, then next life they will get Brahman body. Then we agree them that they are now called as Brahman. That means they insist on Brahmana by birth. So regarding that, Prabhupada gives a very nice answer. Read that.
Because of the material body, every living entity in material existence is Sadguna, 6 whips: hunger, thirst, lamentation, illusion, invalidity, and death. Furthermore, another Sadguna are the mind and 5 sense organs. Not to speak of sanctified devotee, even a Chandala, an outcast who is untouchable, is immediately freed from material bondage if he utters the holy name of the Lord even once. Sometimes caste Brahmanas argue that unless one changes his body, he cannot be accepted as a Brahmana. For since the present body is obtained as a result of past actions, one who has in the past acted as a Brahmana takes birth in Brahmana family. Therefore, they contend, without such a Brahmanical body, one cannot be accepted as a Brahmana. Herein it is said, however, that even Vidura Vigata, a Chandala.
Vidura Vigata. Yeah. Vidura Vigata means one who is very much far away from the Varnashrama system of Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, because he is outside it's called as Antyaja, which means he is 5th, 6th, 7th category in that. Chandala, yeah.
Even Vidura Vigata, a Chandala, if his class untouchable, is freed if he utters the holy name even once. Being freed means that he immediately changes his body.
Yeah, Sagrat, it said, only once. Huh? If even a fallen person utters even Hare Krishna, if he says, immediately he is purified, he says. So Sanatana Goswami confirms this. Yada kanchanatam yate kamsyam rasa vidhana tata diksha vidhanena dvijatvam jayate nrinam. Yeah.
When a person, even though a Chandala is...
Mic is working? Yeah.
When a person, even though a Chandala, is initiated by a pure devotee into chanting the holy name of the Lord, his body changes as he follows the instructions of the spiritual master. Although one cannot see how his body had changed, we must accept on the grounds of the authoritative statements of the Shastra. Although one cannot see how his body changed, we must accept statements that he changes his body. This is to be understood in arguments. This verse clearly says, Sa Jahadivan, he gives up his material bondage. The body is a symbolic representation of material bondage according to one's karma. Although sometimes we cannot see the gross body changing, chanting the holy name of the Supreme Lord immediately changes the subtle body. And because
Which is important? Changing of the gross body or changing of the subtle body? Subtle body, because gross body anyway changes. See, you don't have, do you have to make any special efforts to change your gross body? From childhood to boyhood to youth to old age, it automatically changes. One day it withers away also. But does subtle body change on its own? No. At the time of birth, whatever type of subtle body we had, if you don't take any steps to purify it and modify it, it's going to remain the same. Huh? So the impurities in subtle body, if you remove it, say we came with 100 bugs. In this life, you remove 20 bugs. Huh? Then 20% purification is done. Next life, you start from 21. Huh? Another 30 bugs you removed. Then 50 are cleared now. Third life, you start with 51. Like this, we have to make some effort to purify the subtle body. Then only the change comes. Huh? So now chanting of Hare Krishna daily 16 rounds and following 4 rigs, it does clean the bugs in the mind, isn't it? It cleanses and cleanses and cleanses little by little. So if that's what here is saying, you can read the whole pair again, the first line also.
The body is symbolic representation of material bondage according to one's karma.
Right.
Although sometimes we cannot see the gross body changing, chanting the holy name of the Supreme Lord immediately changes the subtle body. And because the subtle body changes, the living entity is immediately freed from material bondage. After all, changes of the gross body are conducted by the subtle body. After the destruction of the gross body, the subtle body takes the living entity from his present gross body to another. In the subtle body, the mind is predominant, and therefore, if one's mind is always absorbed in remembering the activities or the lotus feet of the Lord, he is to be understood to have already changed his present body and become purified. Therefore, it is irrefutable that a Chandala or any fallen or low-born person can become a Brahmana simply by the method of bona fide initiation.
Yeah. See, how do you know a person's subtle body has changed? Who can say? How do you know? Like you all are chanting Hare Krishna many years. Now, how do you know that your subtle body has become sufficiently changed or spiritualized? Like iron rod put in fire has become fiery. Similarly, how do you know your subtle body has become transformed or changed? Is there some kind of thermometer you put? You can come to know. How do you come to know that? Huh? He's saying one can see the quality of desires. He's saying, okay, what else? Our goal, what goals we cherish. Okay? Yeah. Change of? Change of behavior also, she's telling. Change in behavior also, yeah. Correct. Behaving more like a Vaishnava, proper Vaishnava, okay? And then? Taste. Taste for Krishna consciousness, he's saying. Yeah? How do you know mind is changing? Desire, activities, behavior, yeah, correct. The choices they make, yeah. So, one very important thing we should see whether we were born in a Brahmana family or we were born in a Chandala family, we all have to observe from morning to night, where is my mind going? What are the things that my mind is longing for? What things my mind is getting taste in? And what are the plans that my intelligence is making? Is my intelligence becoming subordinate to the sense gratificatory plans of my mind? Or is my intelligence planning to expand Krishna consciousness? And what is my outlook? Is it material outlook or spiritual outlook? If I look at devotees with material outlook, I'm going to offend them. If I see the devotees with spiritual outlook, I'm going to honor them, respect them. What is my outlook? And we have a Vaishnava, Arche Vishnu, Shiradir, Guru Naramatir, Vaishnava, Jati Buddhi, Vishnu Arva, Vaishnavanam, Kalimala Badane, Padatir Temba Buddhi, Sri Vishnu Namni Sakala Kalushhe, Shate Samanya Buddhi. And then saying, Sri Vishnu, yes, the one, like this verse, Prabhupada says, Arche Vishnu Shiradir. How to take it respectfully, seriously, take it very lightly as a stone or a wood or some metal or something. Lord can manifest from anywhere because all energies are his energies only. The government can make a currency note in a paper or a newspaper in a paper. In the same manner, Lord can appear as a deity from anywhere. So do we have firm faith in the deity form of the Lord? Do we have firm faith in Guru? Or we consider Guru's body to be material? Or Vaishnavas, we consider them with Jati Buddhi. And we take the foot wash or the Charanamrit like a very tasty syrup. Or we are taking it as, foot wash of Lord Krishna's lotus feet. And do we consider Krishna to be one of the demigods? Or we know his unique position above all? In this way, he is saying that, what is your outlook? This is one very important consideration. And based on your outlook, your commitment, dedication is going to come. There are people who come to ISKCON like a pious entertainment. They may come for one class, they may not come for 3 months. Again, they may come. Some classes they come, some classes they don't come. And sometimes even when they come also, they don't attend the full class. Sometimes they go to drink water outside and they don't come for 1 hour. They're making all phone calls. And then when the prasadam time starts, they're promptly back. So in this way, sometimes we may be going through the motion of, externally going through the motion of being a devotee. We may just hang around in a community. We may wear the tilak and dhoti, kurta, sari. We may look like a devotee externally. Everybody thinks we are devotees. So we have to see what, number one, I told you the outlook. Do you have a material outlook to life or spiritual outlook to life? So many pious people also sometimes offend ISKCON. You see that? Because they have a material outlook. They may be pious also. They don't know what ISKCON devotees are. So if we also live in ISKCON with material outlook, we cannot respect ISKCON devotees, many times because we see them from a material point of view. Jati buddhi. Correct, no? Like here, some Brahmanas are very proud of being a Brahmana in India. One Brahmana was telling, oh, we ate in the house of that Vaishnava. I thought they are Brahmins. They are not Brahmins. What Brahmin? He is a Brahmin. He doesn't chant one round of Hare Krishna mantra also. What kind of Brahmin you are? So people many times are proud of their Brahmanatva, or proud of this, proud of that. Somebody is proud of their Sanskrit knowledge. Somebody is proud of their pronunciation. So therefore, our outlook to these items, which I told you, the deities, the devotees, the Shastras, so the Vaishnavas, the Guru, all these things are very important. One of the first things. Second thing, our tastes. You have material taste, your spiritual taste. It's very easy to know. Are we like crow-like or swan-like? Swan-like means we will long to do spiritual activities more and more. We will go from one spiritual activity to another spiritual activity. Whereas crow taste means we are looking for some interval in Krishna consciousness where we can chase after some material activity. For example, somebody may prepare for a lecture and give a lecture, but in between want to watch all kind of YouTube videos on politics. They may watch on sports. They may watch on, some, what do you call it? Some kind of wars, or about videos about Muslims and Christians and all that people watch. And people go here, there, everywhere people go. That means that the taste which you have in your mind, what you will do when you get some free time, that gives a clue of our cross section of our mind, what type of taste we have. So, material taste or spiritual taste. Like, for example, I have 1 hour free now today available. What will I do in that 1 hour? Will I take my bead bag and chant? His Holiness Kadamkanan Maharaj, he spoke one lecture. He said, we should compare and see how much with our fingers we are fingering the japa beads, and how much with the same fingers we are fingering the social media. He was telling. Like that. He was telling. So that shows our taste also. As soon as you get some free time, what would we do? Endlessly we get stupid in social media. So that is our taste. That means our subtle body has not properly changed yet. So similarly, do we have a taste for seva, to render service or to take service from others? So these kind of things we can check. So one is the material outlook or spiritual outlook. Another one is the taste. And also our behavior. Sometimes we had certain erratic conduct before somebody becomes angry. Over a period of time, one should actually become more mature and peaceful. Somebody who is very greedy for possessing more and more, they should become satisfied with even little, not hanker for more and more accumulation. Atyahara, isn't it? Somebody was doing prajalpa before, now they become very reserved. They don't unnecessarily speak because they want to save time to engage in Krishna service. So this is the third thing I'm saying, which is the transformation. The transformation in our personality makeup should happen also. Change of heart. So earlier we were chanting very casually. Now we are chanting very sincerely and seriously. And also, there are some devotees who have a longing to progress in spiritual life. They lament that I am not able to progress so well. They go to different devotees and meet and ask questions. Prabhu, please tell me how this is my life. How can I make it a little more better? The longing is that means you are in the right direction. So that means subtle body is actually changing. Therefore, you are realizing your mistakes and you are repenting. You are remorseful. You have become humble. You are tolerant. You are patient. So these are some symptoms. So in this way, the change of subtle body is important. Change of gross body is important. So Prabhupada's argument is what? If somebody has become a Hare Krishna devotee, his subtle body has changed in such a way that he delights in devotional activities. This is one very important symptom of a person who is growing in devotional service. He has to delight in devotional activities. For example, in singing the holy names of the Lord, dancing in kirtan, like the 8 paragraphs we hear, no, the morning, Samsara Davanala song, that gives us a clue on what are the delights of a guru or a great Vaishnava. He delights in serving the deities. See, the first paragraph talks about, the great Acharya. He has sublime qualities similar to Krishna. Titikshava, Karunika, Surada Sarvadehinam, correct? Ajata Shatrava Shanta Sadhava Sadhabhushana. He exhibits Vaishnava qualities. That's the first one. Vaishnava qualities mercy. And the second one talks about Kirtan mercy. Third para talks about Sri Vigraharadhana mercy. And the fourth one talks about Prasadam mercy. Fifth one talks about Leela mercy of Radha Krishna, Leela mercy. And the sixth one talks about Seva mercy. Nikunja Yuno, Ratikeli Siddhya, that talks about Seva mercy. So after talking about the 6 types of mercy, he says, the Guru who is avoiding the 6 types of mercy, he is as good as Krishna, I should respect him as if I would respect Krishna, because he deserves to be respected, like that. Sakshat Haritvena Samasta Shastra. And because he is very dear to Krishna, and he is gifting Krishna to me in my life. Therefore, I respect him. So these 6 type of mercy is awarding how much taste I have to receive these 6 gifts. For example, how much am I trying to develop Vaishnava qualities in my life? That's first question. Second question, how much I take part in the entire Aartis, morning program, Mangala Aarti, Narsingha Aarti, Tulasi Aarti, Guru Puja, and Harinam Sankirtanam. How much do I have taste? How much I have taste for Sri Vigraharadhana. Like, we had this Sankarshanadikari Prabhu came to Pune. He and his good wife Vishnu Priya Mataji. So we had kept them in the GBC room. The morning I would see that after the 5:30 japa starts, our japa starts, he would vacate the temple hall and go back. Later on, I came to know his schedule. He daily gets up at 2 a.m. So 2:30, 4:30 he chants. And then 4:30, 5:30 attends the Arati programs, everything. And 5:30 goes to his room and does puja for the deities. And also he has to, then that is about 1.5 hours. Puja, a lot of Shodash Upachar, everything he does. And then, so I had gone to his room after the morning Bhagavatam class. So I saw him offering obeisances to the deities. When he was offering, I was wondering, where is the deity? Because deity is only this much size. How many of you have seen that? You seen that? Yeah, very small. Is it Damodar, Radha Damodar? Radha Damodar, he calls it. This much height only. They are there and kept in and he is offering full obeisances and worshipping them with great reverence. So much affection, so much respect both of them have for the deity, correct? No? That's a predominant and prominent deity in the Austin temple they have there. You will have to actually put a camera, make it bigger to see, the deity. They are very small actually. But reverence, respect, aradhana that he does, offerings properly, 5-6 offerings a day they are doing. So that means that much Shraddha is there, correct now? In the deity worship. Similarly, the fourth one is, prasadam mercy. Do we see prasad as prasad or a tasty food only? So how much we are confident that this prasadam is Krishna's mercy manifestation, purify my heart. Yeisha Krishna Aswadilo, that Chaitanya says. Similarly, the Radha Krishna Vrindavan Leela mercy. So Lord is manifesting many leelas in 5 rasas. So how much these leelas coming in the form of mercy in the Shastras, how much they influence us and affect us? Do we just hear them like little Krishna stories and forget them? Or sometimes we think these, demons in Vrindavan Leela is for the little kids. They can watch movies or really they deeply enter our heart and purify us, our anarthas. And we get charmed and enchanted by Krishna's playful pastimes. That is Leela mercy. Isn't it? And then Seva mercy. How much we are eager for Seva. Or sometimes some devotees say, Prabhuji, you ask all the devotees, Prabhu, if nobody agrees, at last you come to me. Some people say like that, isn't it? So why at last? Why not at first? So some devotees say, oh, Prabhu, you are calling me for service today. Is not my name is not in the schedule. Somebody says, Prabhu, we know your name is not there, therefore I am requesting. Otherwise, why will I request? Anyway, you only have to do it. We are requesting because it is unscheduled service. So unscheduled service is another name for costless mercy. Correct, no? If a service, it's not in your schedule, but you're called and given, you very voluntarily, happily accept, you are going to get very special mercy because you're doing additional service. And many people are already beyond the nose. They feel service is too much. They want some breathing space, some time. So these 6 type of mercy, you can see how much we delight in them. Then that delight also is indicative of our subtle body becoming purified. So purified subtle body will be. So the second one we are saying kirtan. The kirtan means the sound vibration, which is also lectures, Bhagavatam lectures also. That is also called kirtan. One type of kirtan is dancing and singing, holy name. Another type of kirtan is Shukadeva Goswami speaking to Parikshit. So we should have taste for both. In this way, we can see our ruchi increasing. Whether ruchi is increasing or not, that's another test. So look at your material outlook or spiritual outlook. Look at your taste. Look at the change in behavior, transformation of heart. All these different things give us a clue whether our subtle body is just stagnated, non-progressive, or we are progressing. Okay. Yeah, we can ask question. Yeah. Get the mic, yeah.
Prabhuji, the context has come here for the Brahmana, Kshatriya, Varna, right? So I got this doubt. I don't know. I could not to reconcile that. In Bhagavad Gita, first chapter, Arjuna speaks about Varna Sankara.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
In fourth chapter, again, Krishna speaks about Varna, according to Guna and Karma.
Yeah.
How can we reconcile those two things, Prabhu?
Why? How are they contradictory? How are these two sections contradictory to each other? Acha, you feel that when you talk about Varna Sankara, like you see in Bombay sometimes, some kids are roaming in the roads, or some ladies are carrying small babies begging for alms. Because some man has impregnated them and then now they have a baby now and then man has gone away. There is no money they have to maintain the child. They're begging for some support, monetary support like that, isn't it? So these are Varna Sankara children who can become terrorists tomorrow, or they can become very dangerous elements in society because they have no mother, father to protect them, guide them, educate them, uplift them, purify them. They're left in the streets. They're Varna Sankara children. And also children born of illicit sex between man and woman. They are also Varna Sankara children, correct, no? So, these kind of Varna Sankara children, why Arjuna said there is a possibility? Because when the women become widows and the men are dead in the battle, your widow's position can be very vulnerable, because some unscrupulous men may try to trouble them. Somebody will want to give them money and indulge in illicit relation with them. And by that indulgence, sometimes women also may be very badly placed economically. Then they may have to sell their bodies for their own survival. Then the children born of such union, illicit union, those children are going to be Varna Sankara, correct, no? So the men are required to take care of the women and protect them. That's why Arjuna was concerned about it. And later on, the Krishna is speaking Chaturanya Maya Srishtam, he says, Guna Karma Vibhagasha. What is the meaning of that? Say, take the family of Rishabhadev. Now, Rishabhadev had 100 sons. The first son, Bharat, became the next king, after whom Bharata was named as Bharat. So the first 10 sons were Kshatriyas. So Bharat gave balance 9 brothers. He told them to rule different parts of the world. He allotted and gave them. And he was the main ruler. Then 81 of them became Karmakandi Brahmanas. And 9 of them became Nava Yogendras. So in one family itself, there are 3 categories. 10 become Kshatriyas, 9 become Paramahamsas beyond the Varnashrama, and the other 81 become Karmakandi Brahmins, Vedic chanters, they become. So Prabhupada quotes that example to show that in Vedic life, the division in a family is done based on the guna and karma. It is not based on the birth alone, because they were all Kshatriyas that way. But they are not called as Kshatriyas, they are called Paramahamsas, they are called Brahmanas, or 10 are called Kshatriyas. Correct, no? Is that clear, Prabhu? Yeah, thank you. So, see this section, seeking divine empowerment. There is some activity here. This is page 4. Yeah. So there are 3 pages which I will cover in the next sitting. So this song already I have sung. Srila Prabhupada's mood in receiving Lord's goods. So you can kindly read this one, last part. Then the other one I will cover in the next meeting. Okay? Please read this one of you.
Srila Prabhupada's mood in receiving Lord's and Guru's empowerment. In Jaladuta, Srila Prabhupada wrote a poem which was a prayer to Lord Krishna.
Which we sang in the beginning of the class today. Yeah. Bado Kripa. Yeah.
And it is filled with Prabhupada's devotional confidence in the mission that he had undertaken on behalf of his spiritual master. An English translation of the opening stanza follows. I emphatically say to you, O brothers, you will obtain your good fortune from the Supreme Lord Krishna only when Srimati Radharani becomes pleased with you. Sri Srimad Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakura, who is very dear to Lord Gauranga, Lord Chaitanya, the son of Mother Sachi, is unparalleled in his service to the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. He is that great saintly spiritual master who bestows intense devotion to Krishna at different places throughout the world. By his strong desire, the holy name of Lord Gauranga will spread throughout all the countries of the Western world, in all the cities, towns,
This
and
is another song. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Go ahead.
by strong desire, the holy name of the Lord Gauranga will spread throughout all the countries of the Western world, in all the cities, towns, and villages on the earth. From all the oceans, seas, rivers, and streams, everyone will chant the holy name of Krishna. As the vast mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu conquers all directions, a flood of transcendental ecstasy will certainly cover the land. When all the sinful, miserable living entities become happy, the Vaishnava's desire is then fulfilled. Although my Guru Maharaj ordered me to accomplish this mission, I am not worthy of it or fit to do it. I am very fallen and insignificant. Therefore, O Lord, now I am begging for your mercy, so that I may become worthy. For you are the wisest and most experienced of all. The poem ends. Today, that remembrance of you came to me in a very nice way. Because I have a great longing, I call to you. I am your eternal servant, and therefore I desire your association so much. O Lord Krishna, except for you, there is no means of success. In the same straightforward, factual manner in which he had noted the date, the weather, and his state of health, he now described his helpless dependence on his companion Lord Krishna and his absorption in the ecstasy of separation from Krishna. He described the relationship between the spiritual master and the disciple, and he praised his own spiritual master, Srimad Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, by whose strong desire the holy name of Lord Gauranga will spread throughout all the countries of the Western world. He plainly stated that his spiritual master had ordered him to accomplish this mission of worldwide Krishna consciousness, and feeling unworthy, he prayed to Lord Krishna for strength. The last verse give an unexpected confidential glimpse into Srila Prabhupada's direct relationship with Lord Krishna. Prabhupada called on Krishna as his dear friend and longed for the joy of again wandering the fields of Vraja. This memory of Krishna, he wrote, come because of a great desire to serve the Lord. Externally, Srila Prabhupada was experiencing great inconvenience. He had been aboard ship for a month and had suffered heart attacks and repeated seasickness. Moreover, even if he were to recover from the difficulties, his arrival in America would undoubtedly bring many more difficulties. But remembering the desire of his spiritual master, taking strength from his reading of Chaitanya Charitamrita, and revealing his mind in his prayer to Lord Krishna, Prabhupada remained confident.
Yeah. So this type of subtle and fine realizations in our heart, which dawn, these are actually priceless gifts that Krishna gives to his devotees, who are faithful and sincere practitioners for them. So recently I was hearing one lecture by my spiritual master. He was telling, if the Bhagavatam speaker and the hearer, they have proper etiquettes in dealing with one another, then Krishna manifests in that sound vibration, and by which the message enters into the hearts of the audience, and the audience experiences purification and realization and transformation. These things happen to the audience. And the speaker has humility, and the speaker has great respect for the Guru Parampara, from where he is drawing the knowledge. And the speaker is totally transparent, unassuming. And the speaker feels that whatever I am giving is not mine. I am just, it's all borrowed plumes. He has the conviction. So he was telling that whenever proper attitudes are there in the speaker and hearer, then when heart is purified, what happens in heart purification? You see, Krishna Prema is like hidden. Nitya Siddha Krishna Prema Sadhya Kubunai, Shravanadi Shuddha Chitte, Korea Vidai, correct, no? So Krishna Prema has to be just unfolded. You don't have to create it. It's already there. But the unfolding will only take place when Krishna is pleased with us. Therefore, we say, Hridayantasto Hyabhadrani Vidhunoti. Who is doing that Vidhunoti? Who is doing? Krishna, a super soul. Paramatma, he is the one doing it. Srinvatam Sakata Krishna, Punya Shravana Kirtana, Hridayantasto Hyabhadrani Vidhunoti, Suritsatam. So, Lord is the purifier. We cannot demand Krishna that he purify my heart immediately. We have to, we have to behave in such a manner that, Krishna will be inspired to cleanse our heart. So there are certain things that can keep our uncleanliness increasing in our mind. I'll tell you some things. One of the first things is the food. What type of food we eat. If you read about this, there is a mention about 3 types of food in the Bhagavad Gita, correct? No? Goods and goodness, passion, ignorance, and all. So many times people are neglectful about it. Recently, I was speaking an elaborate class about it to the boys in America recently. So the food becomes 3 things in your body. First thing passes out as stool and urine. Second thing becomes blood circulated all over the body. And the third thing is the most important thing because it produces consciousness. And the consciousness, for example, if food is cooked and offered with love and devotion, it produces purification and coming one step closer to Krishna. But if the food is cooked for business purposes, for money making and things like that, then you also become very money minded. If food is cooked with anger and irritation, then after eating the food, you also become angry on somebody. You wonder why. You don't know. Like you will see, if a devotee is cooking in haste, then the food will become little burnt, or there will be excess salt. You will see that. So Rajaguna of the devotee has gone into the cooking. You will see that, like that. So therefore, the cooks have to have proper consciousness. Those who are cooking, and those who are serving, they should have proper consciousness in serving. And even the purchasers or the grocery bringers, they have to be in proper consciousness of bringing the grocery with the attitude that this is all being brought for the Lord's pleasure, like that. So now there are grihasthas who eat out here and there. They go with their colleagues, friends, and because they say, what can we do? We are not brahmacharis or sadhus in the temple. We are grihasthas. We have to be little practical. We have to be realistic, they say. Actually, Prabhupada didn't distinguish between brahmacharis and grihasthas in this regard. He said everybody should eat only prasad only. So you have to make provision in advance if you are going out somewhere. If you are going for, like I am traveling 36 hours in train from Pune to Calcutta for Durga Puja camp we had. So generally what I do, for the same evening, I can carry khichdi, hot pot, we can carry. But tomorrow I'll carry chapati and sabji gets spoiled. So we carry papaya halwa. You know that? So my assistant can tell you how do you make papaya halwa. It can last for 2-3 days also. Papaya halwa doesn't get spoiled. Chapati, you keep it in the hot pot. It can remain. Also kakra, round one? Kakra? It's a crispy one. You can take 20-25 kakras also. You can take. With you. Very easy. So these kind of things there are certain subjects like bendi. If you make it dry, it remains for 2 days also. It can remain. So it doesn't get spoiled very easily if you make it dry. So the idea is you have to plan. If I am going out, I will not get prasad. So how I can get prasad? You have to make an arrangement. Somebody may say, do you want me to live on fruits for 3 days? Hame falahari baba. We are not telling. You can take. There are so many other items also you can take. Correct, no? I am seeing in the train, even many ordinary people also buy many fruits and eat. Some of them are eating kakdi, cucumber. Nowadays, people don't just eat anything. Some of the people are very careful also. Either they bring homemade food or they don't buy and eat. They know that buying is not good. So outside people are so strict. How much more devotee should be strict? Correct, no? We can't eat anywhere we want. So, and also all of you coming for this SLATE program, you're all leaders. So what example you set matters very much. So there was one leader who was telling, Prabhu, we can't be so strict. And I think we can eat in a Jain hotel, he was telling. See, I said, if you eat in Jain hotel, you will get only Vairagya, and not Prema. Yeah. And then you will be somewhere suspended in Brahmajyoti. After that, if you want to go, you need Prema to go up. Beyond that, you have to eat prasad. So, we have to make arrangement for that. In the same manner, when ISKCON society, another thing that keeps us on a gross platform is being pious and not being spiritual. Which means there are many pious families in ISKCON. They don't take part in book distribution. They don't take part in Harinam Sankirtan. They don't take part in services. They are a part of ISKCON. They are like Achinte Beda Bed. They are a part of the community. At the same time, they don't come for the program, but their name is there. Where? In the WhatsApp group. Their name may be there. They will be getting intimation. Occasionally, they will come when there is some Abhishek, some festival with the family. They will come, Aaj ki Anand ki jai, and they will go back. And they may not show up. And this may be for common people, not for all of you. Those of you who are coming for this program, you are all serious devotees. Serious practicing devotees. The senior devotees who are guiding others, they should have visible presence. So this word visible is used by Prabhupada in many places. Visible presence means others should watch you chanting, dancing, doing kirtan, leading in services, making announcements, going out, doing book distribution, everything. So if they see us visibly engaging in services and enthusiastically coming, of course, this SLATE program is a very successful program because you all take out the time, you understand the importance of it. So you're coming together. It's a very nice thing. Otherwise, sometimes leaders say, "Oh, we don't have time, Prabhu. Where is time? We have so many programs." So people get here and there. Everybody is like an apex in a pyramid. And I have my program, you have your program. But this program is unique because you all are very senior devotees coming together and are willing to give you a couple of hours in a month like this. So just as you are coming here to this program, in the same manner, the weekly program, if any of you seniors, you feel that the weekly program needs to be slightly modified or tailor-made for two categories of devotees. One, the section order and initiated, and the other one, upcoming devotees. Sometimes the upcoming devotees need to be told very basic things. And when the basic things are being explained, the senior devotees will be looking at the watch. How long we have to hear this? We have heard it hundreds of times. So therefore, sometimes we may have to arrange two groups, two programs we may have to arrange. But whatever it is, like in Bombay Chapati, this problem came. So they decided that the Bhagavatam class will be for the serious devotees. And then the Sunday feast will be for other younger people, new people like that. Same thing we did in Pune also later on. But the idea is the coming together culture is very important. When the juniors say, so in Bombay they made one, Maharaj told them, Maharaj told, keep that front portion for counselors. Maharaj told them to put the barricades. This barricaded portion is only for the counselors. And that was empty many times. It was difficult to fill up. So many phone calls would come to counselors. Prabhuji, Maharaj aa gaya abhi. Now Maharaj is asking, where are the counselors? It's only 1/3 full now. So it is supposed to be fully full. Correct, no? Then they understood that Maharaj wants to not only give us a place, he wants accountability also. So when they, so in Pune also we keep a place. Prabhupada also what he did in his times also, he used to put square asanas for leaders to sit, gurus, sannyasis to sit. Correct, no? In Bhagavatam classes, how many of you have seen in Mayapur and Vrindavan? You've seen that? And the temple president sit behind them. And then the younger devotees are supposed to sit behind. But nowadays the reverse is happening. Many yellow brigade and new devotees, they are occupying the front. And then as the more you become senior, you go behind. And the more senior will be having one leg outside, one leg inside the hall. And also looking at the watch. When is Grantara, Shima, before that they'll run. Isn't it? So is that the enthusiasm increased over the years? I heard a funny story. One temple president was out of station for some time. So at that time they had made one arrangement. Like, they used to have this strips of, this for prasadam you put, no? For sitting for prasad. That kind of things they had kept in the temple. So the first group of people who came to temple, they sat touching the wall behind. Huh? Because they wanted to sit way behind, they sat. And as soon as they said, Om Namo Bhagavate, they heard, they closed their eyes and they saw the whole strip was moving forward. It was bringing them here, to the front, because they had made some conveyor mechanism like that. Because they sit behind. And one by one, all the rows are coming in the front. My Lord, the president was very happy. Today in my lecture, everybody is sitting in the front. Nobody has gone. And then the lecture was supposed to be 8 to 9:30 because Sunday is supposed to be 1.5 hours. 1.5 hours he finished. But then he was super enthusiastic that people are coming close and hearing. So he extended beyond the time. Suddenly he found at 9:30 sharp, suddenly some sound came, sound came. And he found himself in another room because there was a lift which took him to another room below. And I was wondering, and in the room there was a board put, anybody who exceeds the Bhagavatam class time will be brought to this room. Don't worry, the lift has brought you here. Here is the door, you can go out now. So he understood the rule is not only for the audience, it's for the president also. Of course, this is a fictitious story, don't worry. I read in ISKCON jokes once. They understand. The idea is, every speaker desires that all the people sit in the front. And all the attendees feel that the speaker should finish on time. So both have their own abhilashas. So therefore, it's the duty of every speaker to keep the session very enlivening and interesting, so that people will look forward to the next session. Let us go and let us learn. So we also have to think about, as devotees are growing in seniority, how to make the programs interesting, what do they need, and how it should be taught, how it can be made more interesting. Like His Holiness Ranath Maharaj used to call 5-6 leaders to sit on a panel, in Pune Yatra. And the whole crowd will be sitting. Nobody will miss those sessions because those sessions are very enlivening sessions. Questions will be given to them and they all will answer different questions and answers. You can sit even 4 hours also in such a session because you keep watching, who answered which question, how, because the variety is the mother of enjoyment. Correct, no? People like it like that. Therefore, in Chopati also made a long Vyasasan so that when many devotees come, they can sit. So sometimes Maharaj said they can do a drama before the session so that then there is a theme of the talk which is connected to the drama also like that. So what Dwarkadish was telling in Chopati what they're doing, the counseling meetings have been happening. Some counsellors don't turn up. So now every 3 months, they are making one thing in Mira Road. They combine 6 counselor groups. And it is like a total of 300 devotees or something like that. And one counselor group will lead that whole event. They will do drama, they will do singing, and they will cook prasadam also. They will serve all the devotees. The whole leading is done by one counselor group. And the other counselor group will take part like that. And in this way, all the 6 counselors sit on a panel and they speak. And I heard that meeting was the most well attended because it's very like variety program like that. In this way, and I'm telling from both sides, the leader side and the subordinate side. As the community grows for a period of time, those leaders who set a good example, they are actually keeping the community together. Leaders who don't set a good example, they become either weak in their sadhana, or weak in their practice, or weak in their sadachar. And then they will see that they develop some material inclinations. They will say that, we are after all grihastha, sometimes we have to go to movie also. Sometimes we have to go to parties also. Sometimes relatives are inviting, we have to go for a European tour with our children. And then you see them, they become much different than what a devotee is supposed to be. Because they have been careless in their spiritual absorption. Material energy is extremely powerful. If we are like X and 1 minus X, we say, no? Like if you are 0.8, Krishna conscious, then 0.2 Maya occupies, like that. Therefore, one who is always Krishna conscious, there is no room for Maya. That's how this world is designed. The more you occupy your time with Krishna conscious absorption, the Maya understand that this fellow doesn't give me any time. Okay, let me go to others. She'll go away. Otherwise, if you're going to keep any slackness, we go down. So now this one we finished last part. So Now these 3 pages, 2-3 pages, we will finish next time. Seeking divine empowerment is a very important part. We'll conclude with that when we come next time, okay? Srila Prabhupada ki. Yes, Prabhu, we can ask a question. Our Amal Mahaprabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for very enlightening class. And the last part, I was wanting to ask a question, Prabhuji,
Yeah.
about the purification of the subtle body. So, like, unless the subtle body changes, as we were discussing, actually we have not made any much spiritual advancement, because only physically, externally changing is not what Srila Prabhupada wants. Or
External doing is a good beginning.
yes.
Yes.
So in that, like, my question was that there are various types of purification which the subtle body has to go through ultimately to become a pure devotee of the Lord. So within that, my question was
Primarily 3: proprietorship, controllership, enjoyership.
also in the terms, also as you said, taste.
And
So in terms of taste, inclinations, etc. So like everybody may not be like immediately able to change immediately the taste.
correct.
So what I was thinking about, like taste even in the form of like what you call Varna. Varna is also one type of taste only.
Correct.
So one thing is some tastes are totally un-Krishna conscious, that a devotee has to give up only. But even within those which are favorable, there are gradations.
Correct.
And we want to make it fully Krishna conscious. We want to like completely make it say like Vrindavan consciousness.
Correct.
But before that, one may have like, okay, I have some material
His
inclination.
psychophysical nature matches with some service. So he is in his elements. He likes the service. That's also very good. In fact, that gives a platform for him to, engage in that service and become a stable and fixed up devotee. And then in that platform, he can eventually grow in seriousness over a period of time. Like somebody is in Kirtan department, somebody is in deity department, somebody is in preaching department. One word of caution there: whenever we have a liking for a particular service, we perform well, a lot of name, fame, glory comes along with that, and we have to be cautious not to get carried away by Tarangarangini. We have to be careful about that. Yeah.
Yes, Prabhuji, that is where my question is. So, like, we want to make our soul, like the subtle body, completely spiritual, but like in between, it will be like some little spiritual, little material.
Correct.
Like it will be. So the material part of it, the inclinations which we have to do some things, even that also we want to purify, but
Correct.
that gets purified through engagement, in Krishna's service.
Correct.
So there, I have a question, Prabhuji, in that. So sometimes I have observed that. As you rightly said, that we start enjoying the particular thing so much
Yes.
that we may actually forget Krishna and more think about just doing that as an inclination. So
that becomes a great risk also. That becomes a risk.
So how do we actually check that it should not like that inclination should lead me to Krishna, not away from?
Here is where the involvement of the guru or the superiors comes into picture. Say, for example, regulated grihastha life purifies, we say. But how does it purify? Because the disciple is following the order of guru, along with giving vent to one's propensities. Both are done. So, while giving vent to one's propensities in a legalized way, at the same time, one remembers that Mamichaptum Dhananjaya, Krishna says. That Icha is the seed for raga later. But without that Icha, Mamichaptum, one is simply doing the regulations like a machine. Then they don't grow much. For example, say I am dovetailing my material propensity in Krishna's service. It can become more of a tail than a dove. It can happen. So dove is a Krishna conscious part. And the tail is our material propensity. So we are supposed to dovetail. But sometimes, as Amal Mahaprabhu rightly said, sometimes we become so thrilled in that psychophysical nature activity. Like, say, I will give you an example. One devotee was into IT company and coding. He used to get a lot of thrill in writing program and making it user-friendly, even to the point of making it in a mobile app. You can make it in a mobile app. So in one of the temples, he was given that service to do for the accounts department. Nowadays, Tally software and all are going into background. Many other new things are coming up now. So So he was writing, he was writing the program and everything and made it functional. It took him like 6 months to 1 year period where he made it into app kind of thing. Now all the devotees can use it. He has trained the devotees, and this was giving a lot of thrill for him. You know, you all understand what that thrill is because you have been in that field. You work in certain field. For a mathematics student, derivations are very thrilling like that. For a physics student, other things are thrilling. So in that thrill, he was asking a similar question. The thrill is so much that we compromise on our spiritual duties. Say, for example, we may not do our Gayatri, or we may not complete our 16 rounds properly. Morning, we do 6, 8 rounds, and then we get into our psychophysical activity. And then night till 11 o'clock, we are finishing off the balance rounds. Dragging in spiritual life, in completing our spiritual duties. And many times we may skip Mangalarti, Narsingarati, Tulsarati, all the Arati, saying that Aratis are not so important. If you chant, it's good enough. And instead of hearing Srimad Bhagavatam daily, instead of hearing it daily, we may hear once in 2 days, 3 days, saying that, let this much chunk of work get over, then I am going to hear bulk quantity of Bhagavatam, which never happens. Maybe postpone it to next lifetime. So these kind of deviations and dilutions they give us a clue that we are heading towards the wrong goal. So one very simple thing I'll tell you is put a sudden break and make the spiritual duties rigid. These are uncompromisable. I'll get up in the morning and do these duties. My psychophysically pleasurable activity will start only after 10. Before 10, I will finish all my duties. Similarly, I have a preaching program, I will do that. So I will not compromise on Janma Sarthaka Kori and Kara Para Upakar. This I will take care. And whatever psychophysically pleasurable thing I want to do, I will work around it, around the spiritual duties. So commitment and fixity in spiritual duty and working our other pleasurable activities around it is one very good way of sticking to our duty, which will ensure that the purification will take place. Correct, no? And also having a kind of superior to whom we are accountable, where we say that for the last 3 months, last 1 quarter, this is what I have done. Like recently what I did in Abhich temple, we made one form, 2-page form, to check with devotees, all the leaders, Bhakti Visha leaders and all, and how they are faring. Eventually we came to know that some of them are not hearing Prabhupada's lectures at all. They said, Prabhuji, we read Prabhupada's books, that's all, we are not hearing. I said, hearing is even more impactful. Because Prabhupada speaks with great force. It's very good to hear that. I told at least 20 minutes every day. Similarly, some of them said they are not able to hear their spiritual master because they are hearing many other speakers. Prabhuji, what to do, Prabhuji? The YouTube world has increased so much. I said, you can't blame the YouTube world. And you are only handpicking and hearing. So you have to, Guru and Prabhupada, at least 20 minutes every day. It's like a medicine. First, you should take that. Over and above that, you can hear others. So I wrote specific instructions like that for many of them. And many of them I asked, do you do Harinam Sankirtan at least once in a month? Or at least do you go for book distribution? And do you and your counsellors do that? They said, Prabhu, we don't get time, life is busy. No. Every week, everybody should do at least 2 hours of service, to begin with. And then you can make it 4 hours of service at least. Because if you don't serve, your time will get occupied by something else. There are so many other pleasurable engagements which will take away our time. So in this way, when I actually did it some 6 months ago or something like that. I'm planning to do it once in a year at least for them. So now somebody came and told me, Radheshyam, you gave wonderful instruction, people appreciate it. Only thing is nobody follows it. Okay, I said next year interview I will ask them. When they come for the next year interview, what are you doing? At least I have done my part. I have given myself bold letters. I have written congratulations, appreciation for the good things they are doing and what they need to improve. Everybody knows now, at least. It's 2 or 3 page form it is. So in this way, we can have a superior supervising us and giving us a direction which we promise to stick to. And because of our respect for the superior, we stick to. That helps us. And we also can have our own determination by which we keep this I cannot compromise. 16 rounds over, only then I'll put the first morsel of food in my mouth. There are some people like that. Keep certain, like Ekadashi day, I have to chant more rounds. Make it very strict and rigid, uncompromising, like a lion drawn on a stone, like Raghunath Goswami. Then our purification is guaranteed. No doubt about it. And another important thing I'll tell you, when you do pleasurable activities, psychophysically pleasing activities, and compromise on spiritual side, then the four regulative principles can become difficult to follow because the spiritual duties are getting compromised. So we are becoming strong or weak. So on one hand, we become spiritually weak, and materially we are doing pleasurable activity. So our material tendencies become very strong. They take roots. They become very strong. Now you are not doing spiritual life, Maros, Pitagoras. They will attack you. And then your propensity for breaking the four regulative principles will come. So when you are about to break the regulative principles, you can understand that I am becoming weak in spiritual life. Then immediately put a sudden break. Now let me strengthen my spiritual life and reduce my pleasurable psychophysical activities a little bit, and let me become more strong because I'm getting some indications. Correct, no? These are some of the ways by which we can keep a watch over ourselves. That's a good question. Very important question. This. Thank you.
And within this, one more thing in this project, like even within the spiritual activities, certain things one may, by Krishna's mercy, develop more taste.
And that's not wrong. Out of the Navabhida Bhakti, even one is enough to take you back to Godhead, Prabhupada says. If somebody has a strong taste for reciting Bhagavatam and he delights in that very strongly, no problem. Let him take that one thing. Do some of them have very strong nature for deity worship. There was one devotee in Brahmachari in Pune. Now he's in Vella farm now with Revati Prabhu. He has been begging right from beginning, Prabhu, I want to, worship the deity, decorate the deity. Now he is in Vella farm with Radha Damodar. He is saying, I'm already in spiritual world. He's very happy. So simply by doing that one limb very nicely, they grow very rapidly. Not a problem. And other limbs of devotion service, we should not refuse to do if you are asked to do. Whenever some service comes, you should not be reserved in doing them. Yeah, now I have exceeded the time.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Srila Prabhupada ki, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki. Thank you very much.